Karen Johannsen is taking your plant and garden questions at 270-9933. She is live at her greenhouse on the Beltline. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. And it's
Hello.
a great night to call if you want to talk to Karen because we have 4 lines open at 270-9933.
But we have one call there. Are you ready, Karen?
I'm ready.
All right.
All right, let's start with Jonah from Janesville. Hi, Jonah. What's your question?
Hi. Well, you almost got it right. It's Jonna.
John.
But I have
okay.
a little double question there, and one is about iris, and the other is tiger lily. I have an opportunity to get some iris that are being grown wild for free, which is in my budget, and I'd like to know when to be able to dig them up and properly then transplant them. The same thing is with the tiger lilies that we see growing along the roadside everywhere. I hope it's not illegal, but again, within my budget, I'd like to dig them up and then transplant them. Trying to improve the house on a budget.
Okay.
Okay. If you're talking about the big bearded iris, those are blooming, like in June. They'll start blooming pretty soon. And the best time to transplant them is the end of July, beginning of August. That will give them enough time to root in before next winter because you plant them very shallow and you don't want them to heave out of the ground during the winter. As far as the tiger lilies that you see growing along the road, you could probably dig those up most any time, but the best time would be early in the spring when they're just coming out of the ground. They don't bloom all of that great, and that's why you might want to consider getting one that from a nursery that's a hybrid. The flowers will be bigger and they will last a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I'm not sure you can dig them up on public property.
Yeah, that I'm not sure if it's on private property. You might want to check on that.
All right. Mary in Stoughton, you're next. Hi there. What's your question?
Hi, I want to know about cutting back chrysanthemums so that they get bigger blooms rather than a bunch of little blooms.
Yeah, it's a good idea to pinch those back a couple times during the growing season. So they're probably up quite a ways now. So I'd go ahead and pinch them back, cut off maybe a third or so, let them grow again, and then pinch them back the last time about the 4th of July. Then you're going to allow them to grow the rest of the season and they'll bloom this fall for you. Pinching them back any later than the 4th of July, then you might get a little too late in the fall and you won't be able to get to enjoy the flowers.
Yeah, it's just hard to do, though, to pinch off those buds.
Oh.
It's tough. All right, we'll go to Agnes now in Middleton. Hi, Agnes.
Hi. How do you keep the vines from getting so high from tomatoes? I got tomatoes on already as big as golf balls.
Wow.
And I have lettuce for 3 weeks already.
Wow, good for you.
And how did they get so tall? How can you stop them from getting so tall?
Getting so tall, well,
Tomato vines.
they're a vine, so they're going to keep growing, but you can disbud them. And by that I mean you can go on the tomato and take out some of the leaves so that they don't branch so much. So you just have one vine going and then they don't get quite so big. The cages work really well too because then they can just grow into the tomato cages.
Yeah, everything seems to be a little ahead.
A couple of weeks at least.
This year, than last year. Holly,
Yeah, things are early.
Holly in Wanakee, you're next. What's your question? Holly, can you hear me? I don't know if
I can't hear that one.
There you are. Go ahead.
yes.
Hi, if you take a plant from a hot place and put it into a cold place, is that will it grow?
I didn't get that question.
She wants to know if it's okay to take a plant from its normal habitat and plant it in a new place.
Well, it just depends. You have to, if you have a plant that's been in a shady area and requires shade, you'd want to put it again into a shady area. Thus, with the sun, if you have a sunny plant, you see, you just want to mainly see what kind of light you have, what kind of exposure. So if you knew what kind of plant, then, someone at a nursery might be able to give you a little bit better information.
All right.
Okay, our next caller is Pete in Stoughton. Hi, Pete. What's your question?
Question is, my wife has very nice plants that she bought at a nursery, and now we have earwigs in them. So how do you get rid of the earwigs?
Yeah, earwigs they're going to start attacking things right now, and they usually come out at night and they hide during the day, so you don't always see the earwigs. So to get rid of them, you want to treat the areas where they hide. Spray the bark. There's lots of different mixtures. Oh, thank you. I like this one called 8. It's a type of permethrin, and it's a chemical, fairly medium toxicity. You want to read all the directions. But you want to treat the areas where they hide during the day, and then they come out at night and feed on your plants. Some organic things that you can use, diatomaceous earth where they crawl through it. Some people are successful rolling up a moist newspaper. They crawl in that during the morning to get out of the sun, take the newspaper and put it into sudsy water. So there's a few different controls, and yeah, they can really destroy some young seedlings. They love marigolds. They like a lot of different things. So luckily they don't bite and they don't attack humans, but they do attack a lot of plants.
Yeah, but they're creepy. I don't like them. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have time for a few more calls, so stay on the line. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. We're taking your calls with Green Gardener Karen Johannsen and Alice in Milton. You're our next caller. What's your question?
Yeah, I'm her husband.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Say, Alice, clear your throat there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the question I'm asking is I got a rose bush in the backyard, and how soon can I, right now it's called Black Night Rose. It's big size, and I want to know when can I cut it back and when can I move it to the front of the house.
Okay.
Well, you could cut it back now if you wanted to. You will be sacrificing some of the flowers. It would have been better to have done it a couple weeks ago. But as far as moving it, early in the spring is best when they just start leafing out. And again, you'd probably want to cut it back about halfway. And if you do decide to move it next spring, I would try to get as much of the root ball as you can, and then you could put in like a root stimulator transplanting solution and make sure you keep it really well watered. Trying to move it now, we're moving into the warmer days of summer, it's going to have a little harder time. If you don't have any choice, try it, but be a little bit more risky.
All right, we're just about out of time. Lori in Janesville, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Thanks for taking my call. My question is regarding blight on tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
We were told that the blight on tomatoes was caused by dirt from the rain splashing up on the tomato plants or the fruit. And we're told that if we lay a bed of straw down, that would prevent that. Is that true? How do you do that? Go ahead.
It certainly would help. It certainly helps. The early blight is a fungus. It is airborne, but it does winter over in the soil. So mulching the top of the soil so the rain doesn't splash the dirt up on the plants will help. It also winters over on your tools, your tomato cages, all of those things. So you want to bleach those down each year so you aren't transferring it. And then finally, it would be a good idea to spray with a fungicide. We had some organics like the copper soap or neem, or you could use something like this funginil. And it starts like the leaves are brown. The leaves start to turn yellow with little brown spots, and it works its way up the bottom. So pick those few leaves off right away and then treat with a fungicide. Try to practice good, clean gardening things, clean tools, and the mulching with the straw certainly will help a little bit for you.
All right, lots of good questions, lots of good answers.
Thanks for your calls, everybody. Thanks, Karen. Good to see you.
Happy gardening.
Thank you. Happy spring.
All right, we'll be right back.